So it's not so much, is this something that they intended or not? That doesn't really matter. It's more about me trying to help myself make sense of all this.
Vor dem Tore, da steht ein Lindenbaum. Ich träumt in seinem Schatten so manchen süßen Traum.
When I first started working on Winterreise, I was trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to organize 24 songs. A basic dichotomy that I came up with for myself was just categorizing songs fundamentally as songs of travel and songs of rest. And Der Lindenbaum is the first song of rest, where he stops and rests under this tree. The pleasure of songs like Lindenbaum or Winterreise are, as a quintessential early romantic, Schubert is starting to use the piano accompaniment to not only support the melody, but also to describe subjective as well as objective content of the poem. And when I've been playing this song, I really try and assign a subjective or an objective role to each motif of the song that I'm playing, knowing full well that Schubert, as well as the romantic aesthetic, blends this subjective and objective into one thing. So here clearly is the wind blowing through the branches. But then what's this? It's clearly another object in the song, another object in the poem, rather. For me, this element, it will come later on, but it's this element of erkennst du nun dein Bild? You have something in nature, and then a moment of recognition, a moment of distance, dissociation almost, but then reassociation with this thing. And then you have both elements melded together. With the left hand having that. Just like in Winterreise, and later is going to come Der stürmische Morgen, where this theme of recognizing yourself in external elements. The most famous example is ultimately Der Leiermann, where on one hand you dissociate from external stimuli, but then you kind of in a curious way re-associate with it. These horn fifths are also important because obviously there's this call element, and the calling element comes out of the tree music. Or in this case, the kalte Wind. And then the echo of the horn, so even more physical depiction of an echo. It's just interesting to think about when the horn fifths do come back in the cycle. They come back in Rückblick, for instance. Wie anders hast du mich empfangen? Except it's actually Wie anders hast du mich empfangen? So there's the calling element, and then not exactly horn fifths, but still that sound, that open sound recalling in Frühlingstraum. And curiously, you don't really have horn fifths in Die Post. There actually is a horn call literally in the song, but no horn fifths. And similarly, this element, that step motion, is going to come back a lot in a lot of different songs. You could even make a case that is the very first sound that you hear. That minor second going down. Of course, in Winterreise, that trill is a minor second. In Gefrorene Tränen, we have the Ei Tränen section in the middle, and there it's even suspended. Ei Tränen, meine Tränen. And I know that in Lindenbaum it's a major second. But still, I come back to the theme of trying to somehow make connections across songs, specifically with sonic elements. Because for me, that blend of sonic and visual description as a way to blend the subjective and objective elements of Schubert and Müller's poetic reality.
Und seine Zweige rauschten, als rief